Hey guys, it's Lizzie. So I get this question all the time of how do you connect with God? So I'd say that just like any relationship, it's not going to just immediately happen. I think when you meet someone for the first time, it's a little awkward at first, and then you get to know them, and then you get more comfortable around them. So I think it's the same with God, because we're made in God's image. And so the stereotypical read your Bible and pray thing is totally true. If you read your Bible and pray, you will connect with God. But I think the problem is that a lot of people do those things just because they feel like they have to rather than they want to. And I think that at first you may have to fake it to get there. And a lot of people say that Christianity is about freedom. You shouldn't force yourself to like read your Bible if you don't want to. But I kind of compare that to when I was little. I didn't like brushing my teeth, like kindergarten status, and so I wouldn't want to. But then when I did brush my teeth, it's like, wow, my teeth feel all fresh and minty, yay. And I think it's the same with connecting with God and reading your Bible. At first you might be like, oh, I don't want to open my Bible, but once you do, you're going to feel refreshed and it's going to be a great thing. So I have a pen with me or a highlighter whenever I'm reading it. People who see my Bible usually think it's kind of crazy how I annotate it. I underline things and then I write what I'm thinking next to it, and then if it reminds me of another Bible verse that's similar to it, I put the Bible verse there, so like the parallel passages. There's this really cool app called Olive Tree Bible Study that you can put on your iPhone or your MacBook, because you can download, most of them are free, like different translations of the Bible, and then put the verse in and like click between the different translations and see how it looks in the different translations to understand the meaning. I usually pray out loud unless I'm going through something like in the middle of the day, like something happens and I'm like praying about it. When I do longer prayers, I like going outside somewhere and just being able to pray out loud. In 4th grade, I learned something called the ACTS prayer. It's an acronym that I use to pray off of a bunch. It stands for adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. So adoration is basically worshiping God and just telling him how amazing he is and how in awe you are of like his works and his creation. And then confession is all about confessing what you've done wrong lately. Thanksgiving is thanking him for blessings in your life, and supplication is asking him for things. I really recommend just reading through Psalms to understand about praying, because those are just prayers essentially. A lot of them are like written to music, but you just see David like calling out, being like, God, why are you ignoring me? And God, I feel like I'm gonna die, help me. Or God, you're so amazing, like all these like crazy emotions. And I think that our prayers can really model that. One of the things I love about prayer is that it's effective, and it's a great way to see God intervening in your life in really small or really crazy ways. I could go on and on about like random things that I prayed about and that happened, and it's just absolutely like fantastic knowing that your little puny problems, that God cares about them. One of the things that I do when I cry at Pepperdine is I go behind a chapel and I just like cry and like sit in silence. When you're like with a best friend who's really sad, you can just like be there next to them. That's kind of how I am with God sometimes, and when I am upset, I can just talk to him about it, and he completely like understands my frustration and he feels the emotions with me. This is called Operation World. It's a book where you pray for every country in the world. I'm going through it right now. I sometimes do it every night. I'm kind of like erratic in how I do this, but it's really great because you see a country and you pray for it. And then also, I'm really into journaling. And so this is my current Bible journal. I take it to every Bible class and sermon and church event that I go to. I take notes on it. Also, if I'm reading my Bible and I like a verse, I will write it down. Another thing that I'm really into doing is reading Christian living books. Love this one. This has the cover torn off. It's called Passion and Purity. It's about like staying single and dating. Then there's other books on my bookshelf. It's full of different Christian living books. If you're not able to go to like youth group events and Bible camp and events that get you like really fired up, I think that reading a great Christian living book is something that can do that for you. We are emotional people, and so I think we should feel some sort of emotion in our relationship with God, but our decision to be a Christian is not based on emotion. For me, it's all about what, to the best of my knowledge, is truth. So I look at Jesus' resurrection, and based on that claim and how after he was resurrected, his disciples went around and like got themselves killed and like tortured because of spreading this message that he was resurrected, that he's the Lord. Because of that, I am a Christian. It's not because God makes me feel better. It's because that, to the best of my knowledge, is truth. So point being, you do not need to feel emotional all the time, and if you don't feel like connected to God, and if your hands aren't like always raised up in worship, don't feel like something's wrong with you. So I mentioned getting connected with a youth group. That was a huge thing in middle school and high school for me. I think picking a church is really important, and doing things throughout the week. I do house groups at Pepperdine, which is like a small group of like 15-ish people who talk about things, and if you don't have that started at your church, you should get a small group started that's either like on Sunday night or like during the week. I think it's just really important to put things in your life that are making you grow spiritually. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like me to make another video relating to connecting with God, comment below and your question might be in my next video. And I love you guys so much. Bye!